Hi, welcome to my video, my YouTube channel. Today I'm gonna be doing just my regular everyday full face. Like, it's pretty full coverage, full beat, but this is what I do if I'm just going to work. I don't feel like doing anything crazy with my eye makeup, and I just want to have nice complexion, nice makeup. I want my skin to look good. I want to look, you know, cute. This is what I do. I'm gonna be using a couple products, not really a lot, but these are pretty much like my everyday go-to products, my favorites, and basically like this is just what I do when I know I need to look good. I don't want to experiment with anything. I just want to get done and be, you know, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but so I started. My skincare is already done. I don't really do primers. I use my skincare as my primer because I feel like that's just the best thing that works for me. I feel like primers are kind of a scam. You don't really need them. Like, some say they mattify, some moisturize, whatever. But if you're doing good skincare, then you really don't need a primer. So, like, you know, my skin looks glowy, hydrated. It looks like I put a primer on, but I didn't, because primers are a scam. So, for foundation, the foundations that I always go to are either my NARS Natural Radiant Foundation or my Fenty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear one. This one is amazing. It's like your skin but better. It's super hydrating, but like if you set it with powder, like if you have oily skin like I do, I can still use this one and I can set it with powder and it looks really good throughout the day. My oil doesn't really show through. It looks really good. And then this one is the same kind of thing, your skin but better, but it's a little bit more coverage. It's still super pretty. I think I'm gonna go with this one just because this one, honestly this one might be my favorite, like on top of that one, because every time I wear this one I get compliments. People be like, oh my god, your skin looks so good. I'd be like, pat in. And this brush is really cool because it has collagen and something else in the bristles that I can't remember, but I feel like I really see a difference when I apply makeup with this brush. Like, look how pretty that looks. It looks so smooth and my skin looks like perfect, like no flaws. And this foundation, I like it because it is full coverage, but it still looks natural. That's what I like. I like full makeup. I like a lot of makeup, but I don't want it to look like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. And I don't, literally that one pump did my whole face. And if I'm feeling like I want a little bit more makeup, I'll do another pump, but I feel like for this, it looks good. And then I'll use a little, like almost like a half pump for my forehead, because your forehead is where you can get clogged. So if you put a very small amount of makeup on your forehead, it doesn't look like you're wearing a lot of makeup, because your forehead can get cakey very, very easily and very fast. So I take this Becca Under Eye Brightener, and I do this pretty much every day because you don't need a lot of it, and it's easier than a color corrector because it does give you that extra coverage, because it has like a pigment in it, but it also brightens. So it's a very nice, like almost like a color corrector without having to do the extra work of color correcting. Because with color correcting, you have to put the purple, or not the purple, you gotta put like the red or the green, and sometimes it's confusing to keep up with what colors do what. So this one, you just put a little bit under your eye, and it brightens really nicely. Now, I know I said this is like my everyday, but there are a lot of steps because I do like to do full makeup every day because I like it and I find the time for it. But if you don't have the time and you still want full face, you can really skip this step. You don't need to do that step. I just like it because I feel like, throughout the day, under my eyes tends to get a little bit darker, so this kind of helps prevent that. I don't want to block. There we go. And then I use, this is like my favorite brush ever because you can use this for everything. I love using this to blend out concealer on my eye or to put stuff underneath my eye. It's amazing. So with this, I'm just gonna kind of blend out the edges because it is very light consistency and I don't want to pick up too much product. So I just blend out the edges like this on both sides. And I want to make sure that it goes all the way up to the inner corner, because when you apply it, you sometimes don't get it all the way up there. Next, I'm going to use my concealer. Now for my concealers, I have two that I like to use on a pretty regular basis. They're my favorite. And the first is going to be the Instabake, the Beauty Bakery one. This concealer is slept on. This thing is so good. It's pretty small container, but you don't really need a lot. It dries down matte, so you really don't have to set with this one if you have like more like dry skin or oily skin even too. But this one is amazing because you really get that poreless snatch. Like, it looks so good. I always get compliments on my makeup when I wear this one. The only thing with this one is you have to blend it out right away because it does dry down pretty fast, but it is really good. And then my second favorite is the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This concealer is my everything. I love this. Is the best concealer ever. You can use it for eyes, you can use it to brighten the under eyes, you can use it as a primer. It is amazing. You can use this contour. The bottle is huge. It lasts like so long, and it's so creamy. It looks so good. It blends so nice. It works with every single foundation. It doesn't matter. The formula never messes up. It's just so good. I'm very passionate about this concealer. Okay, so I take quite a lot of concealer because I just like how it looks. You don't have to use that much, but this is just how I like to do it. And the applicator is really nice because you get a lot on the applicator. And I do underneath my eye. I feel like I'm talking a lot, but I really want this to be an informative video so y'all can see how you get this really nice bead. Now I only do a little on my forehead and line on my nose. Now with this one, you know what, I kind of want more. I'm gonna look in my mirror because now this shade is literally perfect for me because I have super neutral undertones, and sometimes I can get a little bit gray throughout the day because the way the foundation just settles into my skin and my undertones. But this shade is like kind of has like a little bit more yellow, so I feel like it really does help. I'm going to take my wet sponge because my opinion, this may not be everyone's opinion, but my opinion, foundation goes on great with brushes, but concealer, you need a beauty blender, a wet sponge, you need something because it's just the way that it looks, because it is on top, so people are gonna, I don't know, it looks better. It doesn't look streaky, and you get the most coverage because the sponge tends to pick up the product that you don't need, so it just looks more seamless. And I do take this up to my eye even if I'm not doing makeup because I just like how that looks, and it kind of helps with I get creases on my eyelid, so when I take it up and then I set it, it prevents it from getting gross or nasty throughout the day. And I take my concealer all the way up my cheekbone past my eye because it lifts my face. You see how it kind of lifted my eye, opened my eye a little bit compared to this side? It just looks better. Okay, so for setting powder, we're gonna be using Fenty Pro Filter, what is it called? Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder in Banana. This powder is awesome. I have it in like 3 colors because I like my powders to do different things on different days. And today I'm feeling banana. So, what I do is, well, first I gotta shake. I love the powder, like the way this is shaped. It's so unique. It's so cute. I just love it. Okay, so I'm gonna take my banana powder. Is good if you're like medium skin tone. It really helps brighten everything up. It's like the perfect shade for me, so I really like it. I like to take a dry sponge for my powder. This one's really dirty, okay, don't judge me. But I like to take a dry sponge because with the wet one, I feel like it just soaks into the sponge and then it makes the sponge look gross, and then it's hard to use the sponge for anything else other than powder. So I just like to keep a dry sponge specifically for the powder. Just do that to set my under eye. Now, I don't really consider this baking because I kind of press as much as I can. Oh god, I got in my eye. I got in my eye. I got in my eye. I'm fine. Okay. So I just kind of press in there and I take it all the way up like I did the concealer. It really did get in my eye, and my eye is very dry right now, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm fine. Then I'm gonna take, and I'm also gonna take it to the sides of my nose. That's how I kind of do my reverse contour, just by doing that. And I'm gonna take any excess powder I have and just kind of dab my eyes like that. My eye is really burning right now, but I'm gonna keep going. It's fine, I can ignore it. Okay, so I only do that step for underneath my eye. I guess it is baking. It technically is baking. Anyway, then I'm gonna take I'm gonna dip my, like this, and then I'm gonna take the lid, it's a little trick, tap it off, and kind of just like swirl in there, tap it, swirl, just to make sure I get an even amount, and then I'm gonna just dust it over my forehead and the rest of my face. My bronzer. Now for bronzer, this is a lot of Fenty in this video, but it's okay. This is the Fenty Sunstalker bronzer. This bronzer is one of my favorites. It looks so good. It's really good in the summertime. I really like this bronzer because my skin color kind of gets lighter and darker throughout the year, but this bronzer, I can use it. I can use it any time because it's like a very nice warming bronzer, so it just looks good all the time. So I'm going to take my bronzer brush and I'm just gonna, oh, and the color is Island Ting, and I think that's so cute because it makes me think of Drake, and who doesn't love Drake? Now I'm putting it kind of in the same place where I contour, but bronzer is different than contour. Bronzer is to warm the face, contour is to create shadows. So my bronzer is going over where I put the contour, but it's not going exactly where. It kind of just is blending it out very nicely. And I'm gonna take this up here. Now I do put bronzer on my forehead because your forehead does kind of get like blank, and you want to add a little bit of warmth back to the forehead. So I just do that. Do the other side. I haven't done my makeup in a few days, and I forgot how pretty I was. Now I'm gonna take alright, you know what, I'm not even gonna front. Okay, when I do my nose bronzer, I kind of take this big brush and I just do it very like this. I don't do it precisely, I just do it just like that because I just like how that looks, and I take it right into my eye. I don't know if that's against the rules of makeup, but that's how I do it, and I feel like it looks good. You see how soft that bronzer really is? Like, it's very hard to apply too much of this bronzer, and I like that because, you know, sometimes you just go too heavy-handed and you look crazy, but this bronzer, it's really hard to do that. It's very user-friendly, I think. See, that's why I hate Morphe brushes. Look, I got brush bristles all over. Morphe, trash. Oh my god, see, now it's in my eye. Y'all see that? You're trying to kill me out here.
Police! Help! Police! Help! Police!
Blush is the best. I'm using this Anastasia trio. It's really good. You can mix them together. You can use one. I kind of like to mix these two and like a little bit of this one, but it just looks so good. It's so pretty. And I start up here. I actually learned this trick watching Doja Cat's Vogue video, and I really like how it just is better for your face. Like, instead of doing it like that, like basic, it really does help lift your face and enhance your natural cheekbones, at least mine, doing it this way. And I do put a lot of blush on, so I'm just gonna let y'all know. It just looks so cute. And I do put blush on my nose. how cute that looks. It looks so cute. I look like a cartoon character. And that's what I want. Now I do kind of take it like that just to make sure it's nice and blended. Now in her Vogue video, she put blush everywhere. I don't do that. I just do the simple, you know. I like to take my bronzer again and just kind of blend it in with the blush. Make sure I don't look super pink. I still want that bronzy look. Next is eyebrows. And oh wait, no, it's right there. I thought I forgot it. It's right here. So I use the shade Auburn because I really like the chocolatey color. You can't really tell, but I did try to dye my hair red. Obviously she don't look red. I showed the lady a picture of Beyonce from Obsessed. Do I look like Beyonce from Obsessed? No, I don't. So that's why I use the box dye, and the box dye got it to this color. You know, let me just show y'all. Let me show y'all. This is the color on the box dye that I put in my hair after I got it done. That's it. That's all I had to say. So back to the makeup. So I used the Auburn Dip Brow. Now, some people hate on the Dip Brow because they think it's too dramatic or whatever. I think you're doing it wrong. Dip Brow, you only need a little bit. Let me spoolie my brows real fast. You only need a little bit, and it really, I think it's the best at defining your brows with the least amount of product possible, because with the pencil, the way I like my brows, you have to really like go ham with the pencil. You run out of product really fast. This is really hard to get to the bottom of this pot, okay? Because you only need a little bit. And I feel like if people who say like, oh my gosh, it's too dark, I think you're using the wrong color. I think you're using the wrong color. I saw Manny MUA using that pot, and he was using blonde, and it looked so good. And he was using blonde. So that is the secret. You have to use a color that isn't really your hair color, because you want it to look more natural. You don't want it to be too dark. That's why I use Auburn. Also, I bought it because I thought my hair was gonna be more red. But as you can see, it's not red. But this color still matches pretty. And I also don't clean up my brows because I like to live like that. I like to live on the edge, okay? If I mess up on the brow, I don't fix it. I kind of just act like that's just my brow for the day. I'm kind of lazy when it comes to brows. I used to be very like, oh, my brows have to be perfect. But now I'm just like, nah, it's hair. You know, it's just gonna do whatever. Or highlight, I'm not a big highlight person. Some days I go without highlight, some days I do a lot. I'm just not, it's not my tea. I like to do more like a matte, like soft glam type of look. But recently I've been using these Cover FX drops. They're super pretty and you don't need a lot. This one is Sunlight. I have another one, the darker one, that I'm waiting to use for summertime. It's so pretty.
Hello?
So, take this on my cheekbone with my finger. I feel like that's the best way to apply it. And then, now that looks super crazy, but we're gonna blend it out. I'm gonna do the other side. You want it to do it right, like you want it to look like the sun is hitting you when the sun is not hitting you. So you put it right on the cheekbone, and this liquid highlighter is the best way to do that because it shines. It don't matter if it's raining outside, it's shining. Okay, and then I'm gonna use my sponge to kind of just make sure that looks nice and blended so it looks natural. even though we know it's not natural. We want to act like it is, okay? We want to pretend like my skin really glitters like lashes really fast. I'm gonna be like, these are my favorite lashes. I feel like they're very dramatic, but they're still like naturally wispy. They're very cute. This last final thing, this is like the best lip combination ever. I've solved the mystery on what is the best lip ever. This is the best lip ever, like period. Nothing is topping this lip. This is like my everyday thing. Like this is what I do every day. If I'm not thinking about it, this is what I go to. If I'm not wanting to try anything new, different, this is what I do. So this is the KKW Beauty lip liner in nude 2.5. This is my perfect nude. Honestly, you could do this lip with any of her nude pencils. Like just find your perfect nude, because everybody's is different. This is mine. This is like, I use this for almost every lipstick that I use, because it's just, there's just something about this lip liner. It's just good. So I line my lips. I kind of overline on the top. Well, not really overline. I like line right literally on where my lip is. And a little trick from my Cupid's bow to make it a little bit more defined, I go over it. I don't line it. It just looks way better that way. I don't know why. This lip liner is like super creamy. It lasts all day. You don't have to reapply. Oh, this Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in Fussy with this lip liner. It's just so good. I have no words. It's so good. Oh, and then I use my finger kind of just to blend out that lip a little bit. I apply my gloss. And these Fenty glosses are so good. They're so moisturizing and pretty. For watching, I will be posting more videos soon. Thank you for your support, and I hope you guys continue to watch.